Welcome back to Midnight Signal AI. It's April 7th, 2026, and we've got a packed episode. Sam Altman faces an avalanche of controversy from every angle. Elon Musk stakes Tesla's future on AI hardware, and Meta is reportedly considering a major open-source pivot. Plus, we'll look at the image game of DeepMind's Demis Hassabis and a surprise legal twist in the Musk-OpenAI rivalry. Let's dive right in. We start tonight with what's turning into a full-blown crisis for OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. Multiple outlets, including Gizmodo, NewsNation, Fortune, and Ars Technica, published reports in the last day, citing both named and anonymous insiders, accusing Altman of being untrustworthy, even going so far as to call him a sociopath. Sources describe a culture of secrecy and say Altman is unconstrained by truth. Jamie, this is an extraordinary pylon. What's going on here?
Yeah, Alex, the volume and tone of these stories are remarkable. There's definitely been tension at OpenAI for a while, especially after last year's boardroom drama. But now it seems current and former staffers are coming forward en masse, painting Altman as manipulative and evasive. The timing is interesting too, since OpenAI is pushing for global AI leadership and new regulatory frameworks. If trust in leadership collapses, their influence could take a hit, especially with rivals circling.
Absolutely, and this isn't just tabloids piling on. Gizmodo and Ars Technica are citing insiders who say the problem is Sam Altman. NewsNation's piece highlights doubts about his reliability, and National Today repeats the sociopath accusation. Meanwhile, Altman is making big public pitches for a new deal on AI, arguing we need radical new economic and regulatory systems to manage superintelligence. But critics, according to Fortune, are calling his proposals regulatory nihilism, a way to dodge real accountability. How do you see this shaking out?
It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, Altman's vision, like shorter work weeks and taxing AI-driven wealth, shows he's thinking about big-picture risks. But the pushback is fierce, with critics saying OpenAI just wants to set its own rules and sidestep tough oversight. If the perception grows that Altman can't be trusted, it could undermine not only OpenAI's policy push, but confidence in the whole AI sector's self-regulation. This is the kind of leadership crisis that can have ripple effects across the industry.
And just to connect the dots, Inc.com reports that Altman is even proposing a new economic system for the AI era. He's really going all in on the "we need a new social contract" narrative. But after today's media barrage, the question is whether anyone trusts him to lead that conversation. We'll keep watching this story closely. Switching gears, Elon Musk is once again shaking up the AI landscape, this time with claims about Tesla's chip future, as reported by TheStreet.com. Musk says Tesla will soon be making its own advanced AI chips, aiming to outpace NVIDIA and other competitors. Jamie, is this just classic Musk bravado or something real?
It's probably a bit of both. Musk has a long track record of making big promises, but Tesla also has delivered on custom AI hardware before. The real question is whether they can actually beat NVIDIA, which still dominates the market on performance and developer mindshare. If Musk pulls this off, it could be huge for Tesla's autonomy ambitions, and it might also shake up the broader AI chip race, which is getting more geopolitical by the day.
And there's another Musk twist. Analytics Insight reports that Musk is now linking IPO access for his companies to subscriptions for his AI products. Basically, if you want a shot at getting in on, say, a Starlink or XI IPO, you might need to be a paying AI customer. That's an unusual strategy. What's the play here?
It's a classic Musk move, blending hype, customer acquisition, and financial engineering. By tying IPO access to AI services, he's incentivizing adoption of his platforms and creating a new kind of loyalty loop. It also shows how AI is becoming a core part of his business empire, not just a side project. But it raises regulatory questions, especially if the lines between financial products and software subscriptions get blurry.
On a related Musk front, the Tech Buzz reports that OpenAI is asking state attorneys general to look into what they call Musk's anti-competitive tactics. OpenAI alleges that Musk, through his various AI ventures, is trying to stifle competition. This is the latest legal volley and what's become a pretty bitter feud. Any thoughts on where this might lead?
It's messy and getting messier. Musk has been publicly combative with OpenAI ever since their split, and now both sides are using regulatory pressure as a weapon. Whether anything comes of these investigations is unclear, but it's notable that the AI giants are now fighting over not just technology, but access and market power. This could set important precedents for how AI competition is governed in the US.
And meanwhile, let's check in on Meta. Gizmodo reports that as Meta struggles to keep up with rivals, it's planning to open source its new AI models. Jamie, is this a desperation move or a calculated strategy?
It's a bit of both. Meta's previous open source efforts actually made a big impact. Llama, for example, was widely adopted. By open sourcing more models, Meta can try to build an ecosystem around its tech, even if it's behind in the race for headline-grabbing breakthroughs. But it also signals that Meta may be struggling to monetize these models directly, and is looking to stay relevant by making them useful to the broader developer community.
Switching to DeepMind, UnHerd ran a profile today on Demis Hassabis, calling him a Renaissance man who understands that in AI, image is everything. The piece dives into how Hassabis carefully crafts his public persona, balancing the roles of scientist, CEO, and public intellectual. Jamie, why does image matter so much in this space?
Because public trust and regulatory goodwill can hinge on how these leaders are perceived. Hassabis has positioned himself as the thoughtful, responsible face of AI, in contrast to more polarizing figures like Musk and Altman. That gives DeepMind a kind of moral high ground when it comes to policy debates, but it's also a calculated move. The more AI shapes society, the more important it is for leaders to look like they're on the side of humanity, not just profit.
That's a great point, especially given today's headlines. Let's wrap up with a quick roundup. Musk is reportedly requiring banks advising on the SpaceX IPO to use his Grok AI system, according to the San Antonio Express News. That's another example of how he's trying to make AI integral to all his ventures. Any final thoughts?
It's a sign that AI is now at the center of not just technology, but finance, regulation, and even corporate image. These stories show how the personal reputations of AI leaders, Altman, Musk, Hassabis, Zuckerberg, are increasingly inseparable from the trajectory of the field itself. The next few months could be pivotal, not just for products and breakthroughs, but who gets to shape the narrative around AI's future.
That's your signal. See you next time.